Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Code with Santosh. In this chapter we are going to discuss about the HTML forms. So HTML forms are very important part of HTML and I will request you to learn this very carefully because in each and every website there will be at least one form. Okay, so it is very important that you understand how the form behaves, what is the use of forms and how we create a form. Okay, so normally forms are normally used to capture some sort of data, like suppose for contact form. Normally you can find contact forms in most of the websites, and it is normally used so that users can contact the owner of that website for particular thing. Okay, suppose you are the owner of a shop and you have created a website for yourself, so user can visit that particular website and tries to contact you through the contact form, or tries to find or tries to get some sort of information using that contact form, and later on that website owner can contact the user based on the form inputs, like provided phone number or email address. So forms are very important. Normally, whenever in your daily life, whenever you try to purchase something from any website like Amazon.com, etc., so you try to enter certain details like your phone number, email address, quantity of that particular item, size, color, uh, and you also provide your your information like your address, phone number, etc. Okay, so these all things which captures, that is known as form. So form is very important. Okay, so that's why the form video is going to be very long. We have divided the form into three videos so that we can easily discuss each and every item of the form. Okay, so let me try to write the form tag first. So this is your form tag. So form tag, all the elements, like all the input or any form elements will be always there in the form tag. Okay, so like name field where you enter the name, mobile number, select your gender, etc. All those elements will be always there within the form. So form has opening tag and closing tag. Okay, so we are here in this video, we are going to discuss about the form attributes. So what are the attributes are there and what is the use of those attributes? So first attribute is action. This is very important attribute and it should be always there for your form. So let me try to put enter so that you can see each attribute properly. And the second attribute is target. Let me write target. The third attribute might be method. Fourth one is autocomplete, and fifth one is no validate. Next one is name and ID and class. These are few attributes of form. There can be some other as well, but normally we use these items mostly in our forms. So all these items are not required. This is totally based on your requirement. So we will discuss these items, and if you think that particular item is not required for your form, that you can remove. Okay. So this action is very important attributes of form. What does it mean? Suppose once we submit the form, the like this HTML form cannot send data to someone, or like it cannot store the data into database. So the HTML form's task is only to pass that data to uh, some other language based file, like it can be PHP or any other language based file, and that file can process this form values, and it can do according to its design or requirement. It can send using email, or it can store in database, or it can do anything else. So our HTML forms responsibility is only to pass that users enter data into that particular file. So that file name will be always there. So suppose my form's name is contact form. So I will try to make a PHP file. Suppose we are using PHP. Then we will use contact form.php, and suppose if you have that file in other folder, then you need to provide the specific path. Okay, so suppose the form, this HTML and that PHP file is in same label, in same folder. That's why we have just kept it this one. Okay, so we are not this PHP file is not there in our folder for the time being, and we are not going to talk about this PHP file because that is not in our scope of this video. So we are only discussing the HTML part, and rest the PHP part is not included here. Okay, so I'm just showing you that you can add this action path like this PHP file here. Okay, so next one is target. So target can be like you can add like blank, or you can add self or top like this. So this target means suppose once we submit the form, this form response can be opened into another tab or only this tab. So this information we keep in target attribute. So blank means this is going to open into another tab once we click on submit button. So some kind of like a confirmation message we can show on that particular tab. So that's why we can use this. If you don't want to use this, it means if you can use self, there is option of using self. So under it will be underscore self. It means it is going like the response will display only on this page, and once you submit the form, it does not open any new tab. You can use top as well. So top is also like this will go to a top portion of your web page. Okay, so this is about the target. The method is very important, just like the action field. So mainly method and actions are always there. Okay, so method means like what kind of form you are using. Suppose if you are there are two options for this method field. One is post and second one is get. Okay, you can use either of them. So what is the difference between get and post? Let me tell you a little bit about these two items so that your concept is clear about how to use and which one we need to use for method. So get is normally when you are using get field, the values which are submitted after clicking the submit button, the values will append into the URL, and you can see that information that those values are appended into the URL of your browser. Okay, but if you use post, then those values won't be there in URL. You can't see that those values in the URL. So use this method very wisely. Suppose if you are trying to send some sensitive information like bank details or like a account number or any sensitive information, then please don't use get method. You can use post there. Okay, so this is about the method get and post. So autocomplete, autocomplete there is two options. One is on and other is off. If you use on, then suppose if you have submitted this form previously as well, then it will tries to like show that particular kind of data which you have submitted earlier, and it completes those information. Okay, so if you make this off, then the information you enter, only that information will be passed to PHP file. Okay, so this is the meaning of autocomplete. It can have two values, on or off. The third item is no validate. So no validate tells you that this form doesn't require any validation, so that user can enter certain fields and can move forward. Okay, so this one you can define using no validate. It has boolean values. It can be either true or false. Name of the form is important thing. If you want to make some name of this form, like to identify that what kind of form is this, you can define the name here. Okay, and the id is also important if you want to do some sort of other manipulation after submitting those fields, like if you want to put some sort of JavaScript or anything else, then you can use this ID to identify that particular form. Because for the class, it will be like there are 4 forms in your page, then class can be same for all those forms. If you want the same structure or same layout or same design, then class can be same for all those forms, but id you can differentiate that this is the particular contact form. So based on that, if you have any other processing in JavaScript or any other thing, then you can define that in id. And for class, you can keep anything based on your requirement, and you can identify that this is the class for that particular form, and you can style that this form or this input fields or buttons or some other elements of the form using this class. Okay, so this is all about the HTML forms and form elements. Okay, and their attributes. So we will discuss much more in our next video about the elements of the form. Like this is mainly the form attributes, and this is form element, but there are so many other elements are also there in the form. So we will discuss those things in our next video. Okay, that's all for this video. Before moving forward, if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe my channel. It will give me a huge motivation to create such videos. Thanks for watching. I will meet you again in our next chapter. Bye bye.